Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Fate Extra Last Encore, which is on episode 8. Now, this episode right here seems like to show a lot of information on what was to come, especially something involving Deadface, especially Hakuno himself, you know? So if anything else, let's get this started. We have to it that this person who was his next opponent, that Hakuno was taking on, tells him that you don't even deserve life or something, you know? And you are just nothing. Your face that you have is nothing more than a testament of that. And we had to it that Saber, Rin, and Hakuno arrive on the next floor with some raincoats due to it's raining, and they end up talking about the next opponent, which his name is Julius Barway whatsoever. And we have to it that he's known to be a homicidal maniac, and not to mention how he was a pretty much of a crazy threat when the Holy Grail War started. Eventually, they did see a silhouette and having a clash against him, but not before they did see him, and then he did not realize they were there yet. But eventually, there was a scene after Rin decides to go have a scout around the area with Saber and Hakuno. Well, Saber and Hakuno have their moment together where Saber encourages Hakuno that even though there are some realities, geniuses, and maybe some people with talent, how you separate each other, there is one thing in particular, though, is that you just gotta do what you are truly capable of. Eventually, their conversation and moment gets interrupted by that guy. I think his name is Julius Barway whatsoever, and he ends up having to see Hakuno right there, and he ends up clashing against him. But not before Hakuno was about to get hit by Julius's servant, which narrow took the blow, and it seemed to have a side effect on Saber later. Eventually, Eventually, Hakuno ends up having a clash against Julius and ends up having to remember that Hakuno was just a reincarnation or just a carrier of some kind of hate whatsoever. And he ends up having to, like, kill people, etc., as Hakuno starts to remember bit by bit of what's going on here, of why he just kept ascending just to kill. And you see here, Deadface is what Hakuno is. He's nothing more than a curse. While the professor also explains about the Seraph system, where he's trying to help out humanity, but he realizes that humanity doesn't need no growth at all, etc. And we see to it that eventually, after Hakuno took a devastating blow, of course, we have to it that Saber, on the other hand, arrives right on time to save Hakuno. But while Rin ends up having to take on Julius's Barway's servant, it became a little hectic for all of them. Well, Rin, on the other hand, in her freaking servant form, along with Gay Bulg weapon, etc., she was gonna push back, but apparently we have to it that Saber ends up coughing up blood because we get to know that the Julius's Barway's servant, I think, is like if you get hit by this guy or something, you pretty much are going to die. And we have to it that Saber collapses and Hakuno was arriving at Saber's body, but not before before that scene happened. We have to it that Julius Barway, along with the servant, gets interrupted by some giant monster whatsoever that they decide to escape from. While Hakuno ends up fainting after reaching Saber's body, we have to it that there's a post-credit scene where Hakuno says that he was just driven jealousy towards living and cursing humanity, and he was nothing more than a natural-born hate. Not to mention, Kishinimi Hakuno is actually Saber's previous master, surprisingly, and it was a girl. And we get to know that Hakuno ends up talking about revenge here and there, blah, blah, blah. And he ends up having to enter, a room or something, and a girl, which is possibly, Saber's, former master, tells him to sit down and so forth. It's about to begin, etc., and ends off there. So it looks like to me we get to know how Deadface was created. It seems like it's like a manifestation of everyone's hatred and jealousy towards humanity or something, and that's how Hakuno was this possibly strong whatsoever. But whatever the case may be, all I know is the information revealed here is kind of confusing for me to try to explain it to you guys. If you watch the episode yourself, you might have a better understanding or something. All I could give you guys is just little small details about a certain summary of what it is. But that's about it. So I do not know what's really bound to happen next because Hakuno and Saber are like dropping dead on the floor unconscious. As for Rin, I'm pretty sure she's okay, but I don't know what she's doing right now. So we'll have to find out next time. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Choo-choo-doo!